Now at 5 o'clock, it's quiet out here in the backyard, but we are still watching the potential for strong to severe storms to develop to our south. So we're going to keep the impact alert for this evening. But again, it's going to be for storms, mainly in southeast Minnesota. Still could clip the metro, and we need to stay weather aware. We're going to show you the radar and everything you need to know coming up.
Also coming up, shocking new details in the investigation into a former Metro Transit police chief accused of discrimination and bullying.
Plus, the rally supporting those accused of obstructing immigration enforcement as the suspect appears in federal court.
The plans unveiled to crack down on violence and keep everyone safe this holiday weekend in Minneapolis.
And new testimony at the state capitol as Medicaid providers grapple with the impacts from the crackdown on fraud. The news starts now.
Well, it is calm and quiet in the metro as we come on the air, but we're expecting our latest round of storms to form at any moment now in southwest Minnesota before starting to move across the state. Thanks for joining us at 5 on air and streaming. I'm Lauren Lemanchek.
And I'm Kevin Holmes. Heavy rain and large hail expected in some spots, and it's triggered a weather impact alert for the rest of the night.
So let's get right out to Chief Meteorologist John Ziegler taking a closer look at the timing and the impacts. John?
Hey, yeah, this morning was the one where we knew it was going to happen. We 100% chance for rain this morning. Tonight is going to be that more isolated chance. The problem is if they develop, they're going to be very strong to severe. Now, we noticed it's going to be mainly in southeast Minnesota. It's warm out here again, 84 degrees, dew point around 70, so it's still hot and humid. It's not as hot as it's been Monday, Tuesday. So where are we focusing our attention here? It's going to be just to the south. You can see Mankato, Rochester. I'm looking for one storm. It could pop right around Mankato to our south, right in this area here. I'll just circle it for you. Rochester, Eau Claire, Mankato. And wherever that storm develops, it's going to have a slight northeast movement to it, and it could get close to areas like Burnsville, Hastings, and then we have a chance in the same spot for flooding overnight. So it's all or nothing tonight. If you're north of Twin Cities up to Brainerd, you're out. It's quiet. Beautiful evening. 84 degrees here at 6 o'clock, getting down to the high 70s by 10. It is going to be a nice night. We will track this out. I'll show you the brand new models that came in about 20 minutes ago, show you what they're telling us here for the rest of the evening.
All right, John, thank you. And stay with KARE 11 as these storms move through, and we fine-tune that forecast for the 4th of July holiday weekend. Just scan the QR code on your screen for details about downloading our apps to get weather updates wherever you are.
We have shocking new details in the investigation into a former Metro Transit police chief. A newly released investigative report accuses Ernest Morales of using discriminatory and bullying tactics inside the agency. He left the department in September 2024, a month after he was placed on leave. Morgan Wolf joins us now breaking down these allegations. Morgan.
Yeah, Kevin, it's a hefty report. It was filed back in October of 2024, but we're only now seeing it after KARE 11's data practice request was fulfilled. The biggest takeaway I have to say from the investigation, I think, isn't only the number of allegations, but also how different witnesses independently describe similar behavior.
A heavily redacted 53-page report is providing more transparency into why former Metro Transit Chief of Police Ernest Morales abruptly left the department. He went on paid administrative leave in August of 2024 and left the department 3 days before he was set to be interviewed by investigators the next month.
It's my duty to make sure each of these individuals feel supported.
Inside the report, investigators found violations of conduct and department policies. Female employees allege inappropriate behavior and retaliatory actions. Not all allegations were corroborated, but reports of sexual innuendos, such as Morales calling one female employee a MILF and telling another that she could be a, quote, ring girl at a boxing match, were. As was belittling female employees in front of others and using a lot of profanity in the workplace. 19 witnesses in total were interviewed. Investigators noted that multiple people said that Morales failed to wear critical equipment such as body cameras, radios, and a firearm while patrolling, conduct which violates department policy. Witnesses also corroborated stories of Morales being threatening, aggressive, and confrontational with members of the public. He was chief for nearly 2 years, charged with keeping light rail and buses safe, after serving nearly 30 years as an officer in New York City.
We've made several attempts to try and reach Morales, but have not been able to get in contact with him. We learned in May that his peace officer license was revoked, and at the time he denied all of the allegations, but agreed to surrender his license.
A lot of accusations over the course of just 2 years. Morgan, thank you.
Well, more than a dozen defendants faced a federal judge today pleading not guilty to charges that they conspired to obstruct immigration enforcement in Minnesota. Federal officials allege at least some of those charged are part of the left-wing group Antifa. And protesters today rallied outside federal courts supporting those suspects. Jessica Hart's there now and joins us live. Jessica?
Yeah, Lauren, 14 out of the 15 defendants who appeared in court pleaded not guilty. One of the defendants is currently in custody, so he was not in court to enter a plea. Of those who were in court, many of them walked out in unison with their fists in the air.
The people united will never be defeated. The people.
Before the arraignment, a large crowd gathered outside City Hall, just across the street from the federal courthouse, in support of the defense. A large portion of the discussion in court today was around discovery. The federal government wanted 90 days to sort through all the information and then give it to the defense, but the judge decided not to grant them a 90-day stay. After the hearing, we caught up with one of the defendant's attorneys, Jordan Kushner. He says the whole purpose of this trial is to stop people from dissenting and resisting. He says the next step is figuring out how they will get the discovery.
The next step in the case is the prosecutor needs to give the defense the discovery so we understand what the evidence is in the case and we can prepare to defend it. And what's unusual about it is that the prosecution isn't prepared at this point to turn over any discovery. They claim that it's too much and it's too complicated.
In court, the prosecution says they have terabytes of information that could take up to weeks to download and give to all 15 defendants. The judge ordered both parties to meet and confer about discovery, but did not set an initial date for when that meeting needs to happen. Back to you.
All right, Jessica, thank you.
With the 4th of July just days away, metro area law enforcement say they have zero tolerance for dangerous activity and violence. It comes on the heels of a violent stretch within the last week alone. 10 people shot, one of them killed, in 8 shootings across Minneapolis and St. Paul just last weekend. Ian Russell joins us live with more on the plans to keep everyone safe. Ian.
Yeah, well, Kevin, those plans specifically focus on this upcoming 4th of July weekend. You know, there's a lot of things happening to really make sure that this 4th of July does not turn chaotic here in Minneapolis. That includes closing some roads and having more emergency staff on that 911 dispatch to make sure this weekend goes smoothly.
The 4th of July is one of the busiest weekends of the year.
With just days to go,
enjoy a safe Independence Day weekend.
Plans for the 4th of July are ramping up, including in Minneapolis.
We will have zero tolerance for anyone coming to the city to disrupt any celebration during this holiday weekend.
In years past, chaos has exploded as people shot fireworks at crowds and police. 2 years ago, 30 people were arrested in Dinkytown. That quieted down last year, something law enforcement is hoping to keep going.
I really do think our collaboration has been the key.
That includes road closures to help with traffic and limiting access to some parks.
We get a lot of support from the Minneapolis Police Department's intelligence team. So we are getting that information that is monitored proactively.
This all comes just days after a violent weekend in Minneapolis and St. Paul with multiple people shot and killed. MPD Interim Chief Bill Peterson wouldn't discuss a broader safety push past the 4th, but said they'll have more staff on hand this weekend to curb violence.
We'll see an extremely heavy law enforcement presence, not only in the downtown area, but throughout the city of Minneapolis.
An increase as thousands prepare to celebrate, now pushing to make sure that happens safely.
Our goal is simple. We want everyone to enjoy the holiday and make it home safely.
Police, fire, and the sheriff's department all tell me that they'll have more staff this weekend to make sure that things do not turn chaotic. As for those road closures, there are a significant amount of them. You can find all of them over on KARE11.com right now. Kevin.
All right, Ian, thank you.
Attorney General Keith Ellison has shut down his office's conviction review unit, citing budget constraints. The CRU was created in 2020 to review claims of innocence from people convicted of murder. Their work and the new evidence uncovered led to 3 people being released from Minnesota prisons. Ellison said the majority of the unit's budget was funded by a federal grant from the Department of Justice, and the Trump administration did not renew that grant. There were 4 employees at the Attorney General's office working in the conviction review unit, and they were included in the recent layoffs of 17 employees in that office.
At the state capitol tonight, new testimony from Medicaid providers grappling with the impacts from the crackdown on fraud. Right now, thousands of providers are still in limbo, and many of them, along with state lawmakers, well, they're demanding answers. Danny Spiewak joins us live with more. Danny.
Kevin, today Medicaid providers, including some who work with people with disabilities, told state lawmakers that they believe they're the victims of collateral damage in the broader fraud crackdown. Many of them are appealing decisions made by the state this summer that disenrolled them from the Medicaid programs, which they say put services for the most vulnerable populations at risk. Late last year, the Trump administration threatened to withhold $2 billion in Medicaid funding unless the state came up with a corrective action plan on fraud. So in response, the Minnesota Department of Human Services revalidated providers in 13 high-risk programs, digging into their backgrounds and proof of insurance. That led to the disenrollment of more than 3,000 providers, largely because of paperwork issues rather than fraud concerns. The majority of those providers are now appealing the decisions, including Cardinal Comfort Care Cooperative, which provides in-home care to people with disabilities in northeastern Minnesota.
Everybody wants fraud gone. I want fraud gone. This is unbelievable what's happened to our state. It's tragic. But let's still serve our people with the good providers.
DHS Commissioner John Connolly told the Senate Human Services Committee today that the agency is working through the appeals process as quickly as possible. And while that's playing out, DHS has resumed payments for the providers who are in the middle of appealing.
All right, Danny, thank you.
Around 150 Allina doctors at the Unity and Mercy hospitals could soon hit the picket line. They announced today that they're overwhelmingly voted to authorize a strike. The union says it's been at 60 negotiation sessions over the last 2 years as they seek their first contract with the health system. Today's announcement does not mean the doctors are automatically going to strike. Leaders say they haven't picked a date yet, but would have to give 10 days notice. They will be back at the bargaining table on July 13th. We reached out to Allina today, who said in a statement that the health system is disappointed in the decision, adding that the union is seeking, quote, unsustainable economic demands. And Allina also says it's committed to reaching a fair agreement. Still ahead here at $5 million in grants today announced for projects in areas impacted by the so-called forever chemicals.
Plus, the death-defying stunt on the Empire State Building that stunned New Yorkers today. Then the world's first synthetic cell created from scratch right here in Minnesota.
And as we go to break, we're celebrating America's 250th birthday with a special look at Minnesota's history. Can you guess the very first permanent U.S. settlement? It's Fort Snelling. The military outpost was established in 1819 and overlooks the junction of the Mississippi and Minnesota rivers. But before this, the U.S. wasn't the only country claiming our land. Join us for that part of the story tonight at 10.